Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stress for May 21st, 2026. We keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We also maintain a patient weather storefront on Amazon. The weather map for Thursday will be quite interesting with a couple of frontal systems, one stretching all the way from Salt Lake City up into Bismarck, at least keeping some unsettled weather over the northern Rockies, Colorado, and Wyoming. But there is another major frontal system stretching all the way from Raleigh in the east, across all of the south, all the way to Austin, down into Amarillo, and back up toward that low back pressure up in Wyoming. Unsettled weather up the high plains, across the central and southern plains, all across the south into the middle Atlantic states. Looking at our vitality index, a measure of the individual weather elements that might have some impact on human health, and you can see we have some activity going on here in Wyoming, the northern plains, the Rockies. We have very unusual activity going on here in West Texas and eastern New Mexico, lots of unsettled weather across the south, and a specific area of unsettled weather from Virginia clear on up into New England. Looking at the change in pressure, we have falling pressure running across eastern New Mexico, across northern Texas into Oklahoma, trying to stretch on into Kansas. We have rising pressure running all the way from Virginia north through Maryland, up into Pennsylvania, upstate New York, across all of New England, and taking in the Canadian cities from Toronto to Quebec. Looking at the dew point temperatures, we have moisture flowing into the west. Very unusual dry area here through West Texas and eastern New Mexico. And then, of course, we do have falling moisture here up in the New England areas. Looking at instability, we're finally getting some of that instability out of the heartland, and it's lingering here along the Gulf and the Gulf states. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you'll see we have migraine stresses here in Wyoming into southeastern Montana. We have some migraine stresses here where Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas come together. We do have some significant migraine stresses from western South Carolina across North Carolina into eastern Kentucky, across West Virginia, all of Virginia, Maryland, up into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and all of New England, and again stretching for the Canadian cities from Toronto to Quebec. We have a risk of asthma and arthritis here in eastern New Mexico into West Texas. There is a small area of asthma and arthritis risk again in Nebraska. And then, of course, we have a rather strong risk of asthma and arthritis, again, where those four states, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri come together and stretching on across southern Illinois. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.